sick, you might be off your game. I might be able to catch you.
Nah, never off my game. Welcome to the Goon Squad Sports Radio Show. It is the first 40 with yours truly, Puma, Icewater, and Black Thor. And guess who's still king of the NFL pick? Still holding on to the football, baby, and expanding the league. Expanding.
I thought you were sick, man.
It made me sick to do that to y'all this weekend. It really did. It made me sick. We'll talk about that a little later. How you doing, Icewater?
I'm all right, man. I'm better that you better now. I'm good, because that means I can I don't have to have no pity on you, so you said you was ill.
I don't think y'all have pity. How you doing, Black Thor?
I'm doing well, man. Good to see you feeling a little better, man. Good week for you, too. Good week.
Appreciate that.
Enjoy it.
Boo! Black Thor, don't patronize him. What the hell are you doing? He ain't going to take it easy on you because you're like, I'm glad you're feeling better, cousin.
It's just 1 week. That's just 1 week.
All right, let's get into this, man. The NBA in China versus China. Adam Silver Ice. I mean, is he handling this correctly? Because this is a big-time blow to NBA basketball over in China. We've been talking about it over the years that he's been trying to expand it over in Africa and Europe and Australia. And China, due to this protest, they're like, we're taking down these signs. We're people aren't kind of supporting the NBA anymore over there. They're canceling a lot of different events over there that the NBA have planned. So what's up with this? Is Adam Silver handling this correctly? And what I'm noticing is the folks who are weighing in and the folks who are not weighing in this matter.
Well, I think you have to really know the issue, and I think that's where it is. Of course, China is pulling back because what was said about standing with Hong Kong. You understand the issues about demonstrating and people more or less talking about taking their right and having their rights taken away and being prosecuted in two different places. That's what the folks in Hong Kong are desperate. So it's almost like the big time bully in China is saying, if you don't follow us and back us, then we're not going to show your games. So I think we need to understand the issue too. So I think all Adam Silver really did was just to say, people can say what they want to because this is America, but at the same time, we're not weighing in on any of that. And I think that's what a lot of people need to understand. You got to go back and see the issue.
All right, Black. I know you brought this story up, and I know my Sifu on Facebook always sends me stories and has stories about China, what's happening in Hong Kong, and me and him have been having talks about it. But I want to get your point of view since they have brought the NBA in it now. What's going on, bro?
Well, my thing is this, man. I think I find it kind of ironically the owner of the Houston Rockets will go into someone else's backyard, in a sense, and say, let's support them. And that's just America's being American. They think basically we have freedoms and liberties that they don't have over there. You can't tell them what to do. They're serious about them being communists. They seriously are. I think Adam Silver should have basically suspended or did something with the owner, in my personal opinion, because if he's going to speak out about that, he has to understand the ramifications, what it can do for the league. And by standing with him, okay, that's fine, but look what you're going to lose. And at the same time, the thing that kind of bothers me about this, and I usually say some people being quiet, name the NBA owner that said a damn thing
I see where you're going.
When they was talking about black men getting shot in the street in this country. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, I'm not exactly totally understanding what's going on in Hong Kong, whatever, but guess what? I live in America. I see what goes on here. So you tell me to support people in a foreign country, what they're doing in protests, but when you had a cat over here kneeling in that home, the NBA only allow these cats to kneel. So I think it's absolutely opposed that they lose every dollar out of China. I was trying to, I saw them basically painting over the Houston Rockets logo somewhere. I'm serious, man. They're serious about their country. They really are. And they're going to show the NBA, you don't basically, in other words, we do business with you, but outside of business, keep your mouth shut. I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to see how this plays into when the league's starting. But as you said, certain people aren't saying anything. I saw Pop, and I love Pop. Pop act like he have marbles in his mouth. Kerr scared to talk. Where's LeBron? Because we know Nike's huge in China. Yes. This kind of a serious whip on effect, man. This is huge. And it's funny, certain networks are afraid to talk about it. But this is big.
Yeah, to me, it's going to show your principle or is it about money? Is it about principle? Is it about money, Ice? And so that's what I was talking to some people about this off the air about. Now we're going to see whether it's about money for the NBA or principle, Ice, for the NBA.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I that's what I mentioned earlier about understanding the issue. And granted, I understand about the money, and yet China is very important, and they might just kind of let it ride in regards to the NBA. But I don't think we should ever get twisted. As much as that, you don't want to lose the money of from China. People in most people in China love the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the people that make the decisions might pull back and say we're not doing business with you. But the number of fans over there, are you kidding me? I mean, that it's rabid over there. They love the NBA, a lot of them. So the powers that be in regard to the communist country, maybe they can stop them from watching or whatever, but I don't think it's going to stop the popularity of the game. I really don't.
Okay.
You can't pop if you can't be seen, bro.
Now I'm with you, but look, it's just like this. You got Fire Stick over here. It's always bootleg, baby. Don't do me. Come on now. Come on. That sounds good. It's always a way. Always a way. Come on. Really?
Black, it's the principle or the money with the NBA.
You know, I think the NBA sells itself as being about principle. I really do. But let's be honest, it's about the money. It's always about the money, man. And that's why the commissioner's flying over now to kind of basically trying to put this together. I want to see how he handles it comes down. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Like you said, they have some rabid fans over there love the NBA. So it comes down to the dollars. But the country itself may not care about the dollars. That's what's going to be interesting. And that's where I think before he left, he should have came out and showed some type of discipline for this owner. Yes, he has a right of freedom of speech, but not when it's talking about a communist country. That's what if you're talking about something going on in this country, yes, he has a right. But if he doesn't understand the business, what's going on with the NBA in China, that's where you need to basically bring him into your office, suspend him, do something, show that you're in control. And I'm sure most of us would have went away by now. But when you say you stand by him, he has a right, yes, but it's the United States. We have the liberties to say, yes, we don't, well, we can talk over there, keep your mouth shut. It's totally different. So it's almost like here again, you're being disrespectful, but it comes down to the money, bro. And I'm not sure if China's, especially when you got this idiot in the White House or with the tariffs or whatever, all that kind of works hand in hand. So it's going to be very interesting how this plays itself out.
I got a question, Puma.
Sure.
Are the games still going on over there?
As we know it, I think they took all the events away, but I think the game is going to be played between the Nets and the Lakers, as far as I know up to this point.
And I think is that where Washington is playing somebody too, some other team?
Maybe so. I have to check on that one.
So Black Door, the game's still going on, baby.
No, yeah, the game is going on, but I think some of the games are some of the part of the country is not showing the games. The game
okay, I'm with that.
Up.
But if they was gonna really shut it down, China ain't crazy. They would not have those games at all.
I think they're giving the NBA a chance to kind of make face here. I think that's why they're allowing the games to go. But we'll see. We'll see.
All I'm saying is they have a lot to lose too, brother. Because if you all that, shut it down. Kick them out your damn country. Come on.
That's what I thought was going to happen. That's what I thought was going to happen. That's what I was going to escort him right to the airport and say.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
I want to see it. I'm looking at my ticker. I think it's a game plan being played.
All right, moving right along. I know this story is going to unfold in the next few days, so we'll keep on it. I'm going to go to you, Black Thor, on this. Your eye test on the NFL games this week, bro.
Very good week of football, man. My picks doesn't represent the play that was on display over the past weekend. I'll start with the Colts, man. I did not see Indianapolis playing a game like that, man, with the Colts. I just didn't see him be able to stay on the field with the Colts. Even with that being said, man, this quarterback made some throws. I know they only scored 13 points, but he made some throws in that first half that you look at him and go, damn, is he playing in the Matrix or something? Because this cat is just throwing the ball like I've never seen before. Teddy Bridgewater is starting to get his footing in New Orleans, which is going to be really interesting because Sean Payton is doing a hell of a job coaching this team, but I didn't expect them to beat Tampa Bay. I thought Tampa Bay would go in there and win. But for the first week, he's slinging that ball with some authority. The offense is starting to look more and more like it's being catered around him. And I know other teams in the NFC are starting to kind of look good, but New Orleans got something going on there. And for the first time, I really can believe that he can step in now and play next year if they decide to walk away from Drew Brees. Green Bay, to me, showed me something in the past couple of weeks. Even though they lost against Philly, if they could run the ball with this cat, and I said that last week, they run the ball with this cat and stop relying so much on Aaron Rodgers, they can have something. They have a defense. They got those two guys in the end. Their cornerbacks can play. They have a defense. Even though Cowboys lost the game, Cowboys are just making crucial mistakes at crucial times. If they can kind of erase that, I still think they're a good team. But I don't know what the hell happened to Tennessee Titans. I mean, every time I think this team is ready to step up and make a step, they do something like this. I know they fired a cricketer that missed 4 field goals, damn field goals. When is Mariota going to get this team in the end zone? That's the problem with that team. When is he going to get them to score?
Yeah, Icewater, give me your eye test, man, because I was surprised that you all picked Dallas because I felt that Green Bay game, pretty much that when they couldn't get that ball in the 2 times in the between the 20-yard line, what do they call that? The
red zone.
Yeah.
Red zone.
When they couldn't get the ball in within the red zone, I know playing sports, Ice, that if you can't do it one week, you practicing that all week till you get that perfect and come back the next week and make sure you get it. I think they got the ball in the red zone every time they were in the red zone against Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I think the problem that the one couple intangibles that I thought would happen is the factor that one, they're playing at home, and I thought they would feed Ezekiel Elliott the way they're supposed to. And what happened was Green Bay focused like New Orleans did on Ezekiel Elliott and tried to make Dak pass by putting pressure on him, and he couldn't hit what he was looking for, and they simply could not put the ball in. But again, I told somebody else, it's like, oh, Dallas has all these weapons, yeah, but how many of those weapons are truly tested? That's my problem when it really counts. You saw the pass that Ezekiel Elliott caught for 25 yards when they put that 12-yard penalty on him. That was amazing. Some of the best wide receivers in the league can make that catch. So I think they need to refocus. One, the defense got killed. I mean, what can you say? Aaron Jones, 4 touchdowns. They carved him up, and the defensive coordinator made no adjustments. I think that was key there too. And another team that I thought played well was San Francisco. Man, 31-3 over Cleveland. Strong D, versatile offense. They're just doing. It's ugly, but they're winning. And I was surprised by their effort. And I think we also have to talk about Carolina and Mr. Minshew in the shootout, 34-27. That guy's a quarterback, man. Like his little funky mustache, the whole nine. He's really coming to play and leading that team and doing whatever they can with those weapons. So I was surprised by that. And then last but not least, I got to give much love, even though they got lucky because of the missed field goal. Russell Wilson's playing some football, man. 268 yards, 4 touchdowns. And I think we playing both. You and I are on the slot, Puma, and receiver. Is that guy, man? It is something new to watch. I tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm going to mention the Bears-Raiders game. The Raiders came out fired up, and I think John Gruden had them fired up for the first half of that game. But they were trying to lose it. That's the real Raiders in the second half of the game. They just blew their wad in the first half. And all the stuff that I said about the quarterback, Daniels, he was just making me look bad in the first half. But I don't know if Trubisky would have done any better with that defense in the first half. But the Bears almost came back and won. That was a good game to me. I watched that both halves of that game. That was a good game to me. Minnesota with good Kirk Cousins came back against the Giants, and Black is over there shrugging his shoulders. We all picked Minnesota. I mean, it might be bad Kirk Cousins this time, but they seem to have been able to click last week. There are a lot of – I was surprised with the San Francisco game. I didn't think it would be that much of a blowout, but it's showing me, and I think we should go to this right now. It's showing me that I think the coach is over his head. Quarterback is very much overrated. And all this talk about them getting to the Super Bowl was very, very much premature. And that's why I try not to listen to the talking heads, Black.
Well, I'm not ready to say the coach is overrated. I'm not ready to kind of say that yet. I'm not over his head. I'm not ready to say that yet, but I will say that I think too much was put on their quarterback way too soon. But I don't understand this. You have Chubb, and to me, Chubb is a strong running back, and you have a receiver. How do you come out in the first play and have Odell Beckham throw a pass? I know you did that a week ago. That can't be the first play you come out and run against a team, man. It's just at some point you got to line up and just play football. Yours got to beat theirs, and all this trying to mastery stuff. I think you take your team out of a flow and you kind of lose them a little bit. I think Cleveland could still salvage what they have, but I think they kind of got to. I think they got to realize, okay, we can't try to beat this aerial assault team. They got to kind of win ugly a little bit, run the ball a little bit, and then establish the play action. He's not ready. He only played 8 games last year. They're treating him like he's a 4-year veteran, and he's not. I don't care how cocky he is, whatever he is, he's not ready to actually come in and dominate. And that's part of Cleveland's problem. They're acting like they're way up here when they're really down here.
Two things, man. Tyrod Taylor last year. He kind of looked like Tyrod Taylor last year without an offensive line. And then Bosa getting that revenge for Ohio State for planting that flag. What are they saying in Ohio, bro?
Well, I mean, of course, we just go with the latter, and that's that point of just understanding what's going on. People not knowing that we got to get this going. So Bosa was Bosa, and people were excited because the flag was planted, big time. And with that being said, what you gonna do, man? What are you going to do with that from that standpoint? So from the other standpoint, though, Cleveland is just really sad because now with all of the expectations that were going on, it just went to another level, and it's really sad. I tell you that much for sure.
Yeah, because everybody had them when they got Odell Beckham and they made some moves on the offseason. Everybody kind of put them in the Super Bowl in the AFC, and I'm like, let's let them play first. But I always thought Baker Mayfield was another Johnny Manziel. I always felt that, and he's been lucky so far. But this guy, when he gets back there, even Bosa said he looked scared back there. Every time he was going after him, he looked scared. And
can you say that too, though, when you think about it, that I mentioned this before. I thought the coach was a little bit, it was new to him, and you need some time. The other part that I thought would happen real quickly is the factor that it's different when you're playing with talent. I've said that. It's different when you're quarterbacking. So Baker Mayfield last year was playing against some guys that may not be on that next level. Now you're expected to make plays, and he's not. Offensive line, yeah, but he's not making the plays. It's not as explosive. So there's a problem. They need to figure it out.
Yep. I'm going to stay with you, Ice, on this. I said last week that Jay Gruden would be gone after the New England game. They got him out of there. I'm putting my pick out there already. Washington's going to win their first game next week against Miami. But who do they choose now? And who'd want to even coach for this franchise? They had went through a myriad of coaches. And Scott Van Pelt, I posted up on our page, he went in on the Washington Redskins. And he basically I can't do any more than what he did in talking about the history of the franchise for the last 20 years and how they're just a failure. And the failure's up top. It's not everybody down there. It's the ownership.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they can go after because they're talking about a lot of coaches who are now coaching somewhere else right now. You mentioned Mike Tomlin. I don't think that's even possible unless he gets fired. But I like Eric Bieniemy. I think that would be very key. It might be a little tough and rough for him, but Eric Bieniemy has done some things, and they're taking chances, so why not? I will say this. I said this earlier before, that the factor that they, in order to make the change like they're doing right now, they needed a guy that had a clue about football, and Callahan does. He knows what it's like. He's been a coach in the league for quite some time, and I'm not saying he's going to turn it totally around, but he probably may have a better clue and understanding what it's like to let a young quarterback become a little seasoned before you just throw him to the wolves, because you don't know what the hell else to do. Your other guys are not stepping up. You got to coach a young man like Devin Haskins up first before you throw him to the wolves, if you can.
Black, they had really good head coaches that were seasoned head coaches. They brought in college coaches. They brought in a myriad of coaches. I remember Stottenheimer. He had an 8-8 record, and they got rid of him within a year. I think it's the ownership and the culture. But what do you say, sir?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is definitely ownership. It's to me, I think they need to kind of just strip it. Even I mean, people complain about Miami, but I like what Miami is doing. Miami realized they're not going anywhere this year. And Washington, to me, always been, if you go back to past, I know you're talking about Van Pelt, they've always been looking for the quick fix. Bring this coach in, he's a new, they brought in Chip Kelly, okay, he's going to stop with all that. Find yourself someone that the team, the organization can grow with, that the players will respect, that can come in, knows X and O's, and just play football. Stop going with the flash in the pan. Gruden, you grabbed him. He was there. I didn't realize he was there for 6 years. 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to really basically assemble someone that can come in. I like Aaron Bieniemy, like I said, someone that can come in. It's going to take a while and develop and grow. But stop going after this. We grab this. We get this. Plug it in. Think it's going to work. It hasn't worked for them. I remember when they signed Deion Sanders way back to Bruce Smith. Oh, yeah, go way back. It's always they're trying to plug in, spend a lot of money, and try to make a flash, but nothing comes of it. Really, just take your time and develop something. It may take a couple of years. Develop. You have a quarterback, like I said, coach him up. Just don't throw him out there. I thought that was a problem when they brought in the quarterback that they sat early anyway. I said in training camp, you got to get him out there and let him play a little bit. Let him get developed. Don't just say, okay, he's going to come in. If you draft him in the first round or you draft him, he's got to be ready to play this year. It's no longer you can hide these quarterbacks anymore. You got to get them ready to play. Even if they don't play, you still got to have them ready to play. Because if you're not winning, guess what? They're going to be out there. So I think they did them a disservice, and they did the team a disservice by not preparing them because they thought the guy they brought in, here again, a quick fix. We got a chance. No, you don't. The team is not rock solid. So bring someone, and I'm starting to think, too, I don't know about the general manager. I know what's name is, and I hate to kind of say this. I know Doug, yeah. I wonder what's going on with him a little bit because I wonder if his hands are tired or maybe the job is just too big for him. I love him, but at some times, man, you just got to pull back, go slow, develop, let it happen. And I think that's what they need to do. As a head coach, I don't even know why they would even throw Tomlin's name out there. I have no idea because I think that's insulting to a guy that's actually working to say that we want him. But here again, they're looking for that quick fix.
Wow. Anything else on this, Ice?
No, I mean, I think that's right on point. I like I said, Bieniemy, because of the fact that working with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was very talented, but he still needed some coaching. So I like that, and I think that somebody with Haskins with a little time, you never know what could happen. Of course, you need some receivers, you need a running back in the line, but you got to start somewhere.
I think Dolan and this guy are neck and neck in the worst owners in both leagues. I mean, who wants to play for him at this particular point? Black, NCAA football. Penn State player receives a fan letter calling for his dreads to be they're disgusting and to cut off. Now, I was explaining this a little bit earlier. A lot of people don't understand the spiritual significance of wearing dreads. And football players, especially players of color in basketball and football, get letters and hate mail all the time. And sometimes they get them from the alumni. What's your thoughts on this story, man?
Well, to me, I look at it like this. I don't know if the letter put the person's name out there, especially as alumni. Put them on blast and move on, man. I mean, we know there's plenty of hate in this world. You ain't got time to answer every idiot that has a problem with you, bro. You just don't. And I think that's why when I looked at this, that's what I was thinking. You're giving them more attention by even justifying it. When you first open up and you saw us hate, put in the garbage, put in the fireplace. Don't pay it any attention, man. I mean, realistically, this is something to me that I don't even think deserves talking about because it's always going to. I remember years ago when what's name was having his MVP season. You had a white lady said that Cam Newton, she'd think him dapping us. I mean, white people always have a problem with black people doing something. It's nothing new. Why give them any credit? Just forget about them.
Yeah. Ice, what are your thoughts about this, man?
Yeah, I think we have to say to the young man to not worry about it and just keep moving forward because there's always going to be idiots out there and they're fans. And I tell you what, that same guy that sent him that letter will be the same guy cheering them on if they win the national championship. Oh, my God, man, and I love your hair, too. So that's just how idiotic that really is to me. So, you know how fans are. They're with you. They're fickle one thing, but I bet you if that young man was a centerpiece in winning the national championship, he'd be wearing his jersey and doing a lot different because that's what fans do, most of them.
It reminded me of the Fab Five 30 for 30, and I show that every year in one of my classes for a African Americans in social work class, and the mail they were getting. But on kind of a personal note, one of my good buddies, he had a nephew that played at LSU, and it was this year that LSU was supposed to win the national championship. They already beat Alabama, and then they had to play Alabama in the championship game. And he was saying that the players at LSU were getting hate mails and death threats during that game. And you saw how that game kind of resulted. Those guys, they didn't have their head in the game because you're playing in front of a mass audience and you don't know where the bullet is going to be coming from. And so it's kind of a sad commentary of a lot of folks. They don't want us at a dinner table, but we can entertain and play football and basketball in front of them. It's okay. But if we don't represent what they want, then they always have a problem with it. And so somehow, some way, this has to be remedied and eliminated. If you don't like folks, then don't watch the sport. Don't have any comment, etc. I'm go with this, Iceland. Huh?
Go to black colleges. They like dreads and locks in black colleges, man.
Shout out
it is what it is.
Shout out
Lots of homecoming too. Love homecoming.
Yes.
Verlander, man, I didn't agree with the pundits at all, Ice, with this. Verlander went out and pitched against Tampa Bay Rays, and I told you last week that Tampa Bay, I think, is the most dangerous team in the playoffs right now. They really aren't expected to win anything, but they are giant killers. And so my thing was, and me and my dad had a debate about this, I would have saved Verlander for the fifth game and said, buddy, get all the rest you need because I'm going to need you to seal the deal in a deciding game. They put him out there in the fourth game and they tattooed him, and now you don't have him anymore. I don't know. I don't agree with this strategy. What say you, man?
Well, I think if this was last year or the last time that they won the World Series, right, I think that you would say, wow, why are you doing this? But I think that the manager sits back and goes, and when you put Verlander out there on 3 days rest, which is kind of crazy, you have to do it knowing that you have a backup plan. So let's look at it. When you had the first two games, Verlander pitched, and then Jarrett Cole pitched game 2. They won both of those games. Game 3, you throw Gronk out there. He got tattooed. So somebody had to come back at 4. So by doing this, you allow 2 of your aces to pitch twice in a 5-game series. So yeah, Verlander got tattooed, but what if he didn't have his best stuff and he tried to pitch game 5? I'd rather have him getting tattooed in game 4. Game 5 now, you have Jarrett Cole, who's one of the top pitchers in the league, and he's only 29 years old on 4 days rest. They're all right, man. They're all right. I know it's good to have Verlander there, but Jarrett Cole he won 20 games too, and he's more than capable. He's a lot younger and he's fresh. So I love Verlander, but I understand it why you go with Cole, because Cole has really shut things down early on in the postseason.
Like,
I know you don't like the baseball, so I'm gonna give you another question.
Let me just say this though. I'm just saying it as an outsider. If you make all that damn money, you should be going an hour, 3 days, man, 4 days. What the hell is this, man? You pitch a damn game, but you gotta come back a week later and pitch? I never heard such, bro. You gotta be kidding me. Put ice in your arm and get out there.
It's a sign of the times, bro.
I remember years ago, the Dodgers had a picture, the same thing. Oh, you pitched it there earlier, you shouldn't have. You gotta be kidding. You're making $100 million. Get your ass up to the mound. I tell you, get out of your sleep and go and pitch, man. What the hell's going on?
Can we talk about turf toe in the NFL? Things have just changed in sports, bro. Adams is out with turf toe. Man, people's toes have been bleeding for years. Wrap them up and get your behind out there.
Thank you. I don't get it. Seriously. 3 days, well, you need another. What is 24 hours going to do to your arm, bro? Get out there.
Hey, I'm with you. Hey, Puma, the other problem I have with that, too, is they talk about, well, it's only on 3 days rest. Hell, when you only pitch 5 innings, that's not even a real game. You're pitching 5 innings.
Yes.
You too
Come
hurt.
on. If you pitch 2 days,
play 2 games in 1 day.
He had a strong outing. 5 innings? Man, if you put Bob Gibson out there back in the day, try to pull him out of 5 innings, he'd have beat the hell out the manager, the general manager, and might have ran over the umpire. Or same way with Nolan Ryan. It was unacceptable. They were strong athletes and men.
Thank you. These guys got better equipment. They can't go on 3 days rest. Oh man, I got to go.
I'm only pitching. Look, I was real tired, exhausted. I pitched 5 innings. Get the what?
Oh man.
I'm just saying.
Gronk is joining the pregame at Fox, man. Is this a good move?
You know what? I think so. I think because right now, to me, a lot of these morning shows that come on, I haven't even watched any of them. They need a little kick in the butt, man. So he can do it. He can do it. I don't know what he can bring for us analyzation, but he's going to bring some excitement. He's probably going to bring more viewers that they don't have now because NFL Network, their morning show on Sunday is and half the time Fox is stepping over each other. They don't really say anything that's really important. CBS, if Boomer Esiason don't talk 90% of the time, no one's talking on that show. So yeah, bring someone else in. He tries to do everything. It's funny. I want to say this real quick. 2 weeks ago, they didn't think that Tony Romo, I guess his back was giving him problems. They said Boomer was practicing all week. And Tony Romo was like, nah, all I got to do is sit here and talk. You ain't getting this gig, bro. Boomer Esiason is an egomaniac.
Yeah, I catch him sometimes on CBS Sports. Ice, Gronk is in the booth in Fox.
Well, it's the young folks, millennials, and all the other folks that, he can talk. He's funny. He likes to joke. And why not, man? Why not? They can do worse because it's a lot of old ghosts sitting up there.
Absolutely.
So you need to bring a little energy into the room. So he can't hurt. And I'm sure they talk to him. They preach practice. And why not, man? Look, what do you have to lose? Nothing.
All right. Now, we do other shows on our podcast at Blog Talk Radio, and I wanted Black to talk about what's coming up this week on When Black Men Talk, where he's the host, Mark Elliott, with the melodious voice.
It's interesting. I was, this is cat that was running a foster home. He still is running a foster home for males, man. He has basically foster home over 50 young males in Brooklyn, New York. I wanted to salute him. And I want to salute Black women. I sent you to a song, or the sister did, about Black women. I think the song is deep, it's in depth. And I wanted to play the song, if we can, on Sunday, and just kind of basically salute Black women because we tear them down a lot. And I don't think we appreciate them enough because they gave birth and they still give birth to a nation in spite of all the stuff that goes wrong with us and them. We spend a little time saluting them this coming weekend.
All right. Stay tuned to that. It's 7 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday on
8, my brother. 8, my brother.
7 o'clock Central, brother.
Central, bro. Yeah, you still ain't right.
Yeah. Ain't no mercy. Ain't no love. And Ice does a website called The Reality of Sports, man. What are some of the stories that we need to be looking out for Reality of Sports?
Yeah, well, we're going to start, as you mentioned, we're talking about the standpoint of what's going on with the NBA. We're looking at that out there. With the different moves, man, I'm really excited about the NBA coming up and seeing what's happening there. We do also have, going to be talking about putting out there information about Kev Newton's younger brother at Howard University is transferring. And you think about all of the transfers that have happened too. You looked at Rutgers lost their whole team. Starters, they guys playing 4 games and now sitting out because they want a red shirt. That's the new trend. That is the new trend. 4 games and I'm out. Same way with Cam Newton's brother. 4 games and he's the starting quarterback for Howard University and he decides to pull out because he wants to transfer somewhere else next year. Not finishing the season this year. That's a major concern. And the transfer portal is catching hell right about now.
Yeah. What really, I forgot about this, Ice. The quarterback Fields was sitting on the bench at Georgia. When I heard that, I remember reading that a long time ago, but I'm like, this brother was sitting on the bench in Georgia? Wow. Well,
Jalen Hurts, though, let's give him some love.
Yeah.
And let's look at the coach at Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley. I mean, granted, we can say one thing: is it all just that magical switch he pulled that made Hurts as good as he's playing right now? Right situation, right time, right coach, right opportunity.
All right. Let's look at these standings for the Team Puma, Team Black Thor, Team Pop, and Team Ice Water in the NFL picks. Last week I went 12-3. I have a 51-6 record with one tie. Black Thor and Pop are tied for second. Team Black Thor went 7-8 last week. He has a 44-33 and one record. Pop has the same record. And then Ice Water, Team Ice Water. Who you with? What team you with? Who you with? It's 8-7, 43-34. Who you with?
I'm in the basement. That's all right. Won't be here long. But I'm close enough to Black Thor and Pops. That's what I'm gaming. I'm trying to climb out the basement. I can see them. They're on the top stair. And I'm making my move. I'm coming, Puma. I'm not like Black Thor.
Where your scissors, bro? I thought you were going to bring out the scissors this week. Where your scissors, man?
You need to get your own damn scissors. I'm tired of boosting you up, man. I know it's your show, but there it gone. I'm going to take you old school to the horse racing guide.
Black, you and Ice were quiet. Thank you for, the text messages asking me how I was doing. But yo, I was wondering what you were sitting there thinking on Sunday.
I realized halfway through the first half that my picks were not going to probably pan out. It's like having a bad game. You don't look at the videotape, bro. Just move on. just go through the next game. Go through the next week. And that was a throw week. I definitely swung and missed. And good week to you, man. 12-3. That's an awesome week. So only good thing about last week, it was only week 4. That's the only thing.
Hey, Puma. Yeah. The point is coming at you, baby. You.
Hell grabbing.
We make our.
You are getting sleepy.
On overtime on Blog Talk Radio, we do a 90-minute show right after this show on Blog Talk, Goon Sports Radio Show. So we're going to click over and go over there. So we will see you there. Black, that hat was bad luck for you last week. I don't know what you got to do.
Hell grabbing.
Puma, you are getting sleepy. You are getting sleepy.
I'm not falling for that. Not falling for that. We'll see you on overtime. Goon Squad Sports Radio Show.
Sure.
Puma, Black Thor, and Ice Water.
Yeah!